How do we harness students' potential through learning? Who is responsible for helping children obtain quality education? These are the questions that we are going to discuss in this forum. I'm Iman Fariza and I'll be the moderator for today's session. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin our forum discussion. Good morning and welcome to the forum discussion titled with Revolutionizing Education, Unleashing Potential for Every Child. Education enables upward socio-economic mobility and is a key to escaping poverty. There is little point in providing the opportunity for a child to enroll in school if the quality of the education is poor, that the child will not become literate or numerate or will fail to acquire critical life skills. Without education, no social, health, economic, and political progress is possible. South SGF faces significant challenges in providing quality education to all its children. It lacks of adequate finance, qualified teachers, pedagogical knowledge, and opportunity for adolescent education and skill utilization. Investing in education is therefore essential for the future of the world. By focusing on quality education, we strive to create environments where every child, regardless of their backgrounds, socioeconomic status, or circumstances, has access to enriching learning experience tailored to their unique needs and aspirations. Through thoughtful discussion, we aim to explore the fundamental right to a potential quality education for children. First of all, please allow me to introduce our honorable panelists. First, we have Datuk Suhaila, the Minister of Education of Malaysia. Besides her, we have Dr. Lim Kailan, Professor of Education, Professor of Education in University Kebangsaan Malaysia. Last but not least, we have Mrs. Miyuki, who is a mother of 16 years old children. Thank you for your willingness to coexist with us and share your opinion. Without further ado, I would like to welcome our panelists to share their view on unleashing potential in every child, starting from Datuk Suhaila.
Thank you to Miss Iman and good morning to the other panelists. There are some ways the government can improve the quality of education for children. One of the ways is to build schools in every neighborhood. This is to ensure that all children have easy access to education. One problem that can be seen if the school is far away is that parents have difficulty sending their children to school as it costs a lot of money and takes time. As Bismarck Mohammed said, to ensure no child is left behind, the government should adopt policies that commit to universal pre-primary education and prioritize the poorest and hardest to reach children at the start of the road to university, not the end. In addition, the government can provide funds to schools to support transportation such as vans and buses to pick up children from their houses. I believe that with this approach, children will find it easier to go to school and reduce the burden on parents. The second way is to provide financial assistance to families that have low income, as money plays an important role in studies. The government can provide financial assistance by giving scholarship to children from low-income families who have potential and want to further their studies. Moreover, the government can help by providing free books and learning materials to children in need. This can support children in learning more effectively and reduce their worries about buying stationery and school equipment. As Samantha Samsport said, providing financial assistance will help reduce disparities in society and ensure that all children have access to quality education. The other way is to take the problem that children face at school and home seriously. I'm saying this because the problems that children face have a bad impact on their learning, not just in learning, but also in their life. So every possible factor that affects children's health needs to be avoided. avoided to increase the quality of children's learning at school. As K20 says, students experiencing poor mental health may be dealing with depression, stress, anxiety, addictive condition, or aggressive behavior. Students may be distracted or uninterested, affecting their ability to learn material presented in the classroom. This problem can be solved by connecting children to teachers to help in solving children's problems, such as bullying, mental health, and abuse. Teachers can make a survey or use other methods to understand the problem that children face. That's that from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your opinion, Datuk Suhaila. How about you, Dr. Lim? What methods can educators use to make their lectures more engaging and effective for students?
Thank you, moderator. Good morning, everyone, and I'm honored to be a part of this panel discussion. So, firstly, lecturing is a fundamental aspect for education, and the method we employ greatly influence the learning experience. Lecturing is not just about talking, it's about engaging students. So, in my 7 years at UKM, I've found that using visual aid can make significant difference. So, things like presentation with colors, sound, and animation can capture student attention and help them to remember information better. So the study by Gove in 2014 is particularly enlightening. It's not only underscore the effectiveness of regular use of visual aid in lecture, but also quantify the impact with a 70% increase in student engagement and information retention. So this strategy highlight that the potential of using a visual aid to elevate the learning experience. So, but a word of caption, visual aid should support your lecture, not take it over. That should complement the personal interaction you with your student. So moving on the second point, having a well-structured lecture. This is important for effectively communication. So my suggestion is cover only 3 or 4 points in a 15-minute lecture or 4 to 5 points in a 70-minute class. This help keep students focused and ensure that key concepts are truly explored. So research for a newspaper in 2016 highlighted a clear and simple structure not only improves student comprehension but also help them to remember information better in assessment. So plan your lecture carefully and emphasize the key point that contain different topics within the course. Now, let's talk about engaging the entire class. So instead of just presenting information, I suggest that to encourage students to make prediction based on what they really know. So this is not only promote a critical thinking, but also create a lively learning atmosphere. Study at UKM has shown a significant increase in class participation and anxiety when this strategy is being used. So, however, it is essential to acknowledge that student engagement levels are not constant. So research indicated that in a university lecture, student engagement in my wording approximate 33% of the time. So understanding and adapting to this variation influenced by factors such as overall engagement is important in maintaining an interaction and effective learning environment. So as educator, the method we employ shape the learning experience of our students. So I encourage all participants to consider implement this effective technique in their teaching practice. So I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, I'll take that. Thank you, Dr. Lim. And last but not least, Mrs. Miyuki, what's your say on active parental engagement enhance a child's educational journey and contribute to their overall academic success?
Thank you, moderator, for the question, and good morning to all panelists. So, for me, as a mother, I think that parental involvement can play important factor for the successful education. And I think that parental involvement can give a big influence for our children's education. So, the involvement is a the involvement of parents must be a part of a broader strategy of complementary support learning and development as a systemic effort supported by the joint action of all the stakeholders. This can be supported by one of the article from KATE 2023 that say studies show that students with involved parents are more likely to have a better academic performance, better behavior and stronger self-esteem. So other than that, parental aspiration can also give a big influence for our children education. This because parental aspiration that refer to the idealistic hope or goal that we as a parents may form regarding to the future attainment. Parents who hold high aspiration for their children's future are likely to be more willing as an aspiration to realize. So this can be shown by the Charlie 2023 that say it is the role of parents to teach children discipline, responsibility, accountability by settling limit, establishing consequences and also teaching value. But the children are more likely to follow what an adult does than what they preach. They pick up each and every manners of their parent and rapidly imbibe it. So I can conclude that parental aspiration can be a big influence for our children education. And lastly, I think the most important things that we as a parents do at home, that is learning at home. This is because children are always involved with parent more than others. So activities to encourage learning at home provide we parents information on what our children doing at the classroom, and also we know how to help them with their homeworks. This can be trained by the one article by Annie 2023 that say research have noted that parent involvement in school governance, for instance, help parents understand educator and other parents' motivation, attitudes, and abilities. It gives them a great opportunity to serve as resource for their children. So I think that parent involvement, parent aspiration, and also learning at home can help and also play important role for our children's education. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Miyuki and other panelists for interesting and informative insights. Now, let us move on to Q&A session. First question I would like to ask Dr. Lim, do you believe it's crucial for educators to participate in programs to stay updated and enhance their skills as professionals? Please.
Absolutely. It is important for educators to participate in programs that help them to step up that and enhance their skill as professionals. Engaging in continual professional development ensure that educators remain effective and relevant to meet the need of the students. So why pursue ongoing professional development is essential for educators. Firstly, adapting to education change. As education system, academic and teaching methods are continually changing. It's important for educators to stay information to adjust their teaching strategy accordingly. Professional development programs offer opportunity to learn about new trends, truth, and the best practice in education. Second, enhancing classroom management. Effectively manage a classroom is a key element success teaching. Professional development program can offer educators valuable insight and strategy to establish a positive the class for the classroom environment. So this program focus on managing behavior effectively and creating an atmosphere to learning. That's all for me.
Datuk Sohaila, do you agree with Dr. Lim?
Yes, I absolutely agree with Dr. Lee.
What are some advice you could deliver to all parents out there? The stage is yours.
Thank you to the moderator. Some advice I can deliver to other parents is that they need to encourage their children to take ownership of their education and develop self motivation and self regulation skills. After that, my advice is for parents to encourage their child to develop empathy, communication, and collaborative skills and understand the impact of their behavior on others.
Yes, you always know what to say, Datuk Sohaila. Finally, a question to Mrs. Milky from me. You, as a mother who always want the best for your children, do you believe it's always appropriate for parents to enroll their children in weekend tuition class?
For me, as a parent, I think that tuition is not necessary because I think education at school is all enough for my children. And when we as a parent talk about tuition in weekends, the most important thing is my children consideration to join the tuition class. Because for me that at the weekend, it's all about rest. There is no tuition or doing some homework, and so for me that tuition is not necessary, and it's all depend on parent if they want their children to join the tuition or not.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Miyuki. In short, the forum discusses the fundamental right to a potential quality education for children. To know about government enrollment in high quality education, our first panelist has explained it, and our second panelist states the methods of lecturing effectively in revolutionizing education. And lastly, our third panelist gives advice on parental involvement as important factor for successful education. All parties is trying their best to provide a quality education for children. That is all for today's discussion. Thank you and see you next time.